2009. The year of the Balloon Boy hoax, Obama had just settled into the Oval Office, Kanye was about to let Taylor Swift finish.
But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
And first-person shooters dominated the landscape of gaming. But one title was about to raise the stakes and redefine an entire genre.
Right. What the hell kind of name is Soap, eh? How'd a muppet like you pass to them?
Following the groundbreaking success of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, expectations soared sky high, and gamers across the world waited with bated breath, and then it arrived. Modern Warfare 2, a game that promised to take us deeper into the chaos of war, challenge our morals, and deliver an unmatched multiplayer experience. But with its brilliance came controversy, moments that shocked the world,
Remember, no rush.
and mechanics that divided a community. Today, we dive deep, exploring the artistry, the innovation, and yes, the imperfections of a game that for many remains etched in memory. This is the story of Modern Warfare 2. To truly grasp the impact of Modern Warfare 2, we must first travel back to a time before its inception. The early to mid-2000s was a golden age for first-person shooters, each title vying for dominance, bringing innovation and a unique flavour to an oversaturated market. Enter Call of Duty. Originally grounding itself in the realism of World War II, soon set its sights on a more modern theatre of war. With Modern Warfare, Infinity Ward took a bold step, swapping trenches and M1 Garands for modern cities and M4 carbines. It wasn't just a shift in time, it was a transformation in narrative depth, gameplay dynamics, and most importantly, it revolutionized how we play together online. The thrill of chasing kill streaks, the camaraderie of team-based objective, and the intensity of close-knit firefights. It was groundbreaking, and the acclaim was unanimous. Call of Duty wasn't just another franchise, it was now the gold standard. But with each resounding success came towering expectations. And in 2009, against a backdrop of eager fans and keen competitors, Infinity Ward had a mission: to exceed, to evolve, and to enthrall once more. Behind a cacophony of gunfire and the thrill of multiplayer skirmishes lies the game's intricate and somewhat controversial narrative. Our journey includes familiar faces, heroes like Captain Price and Soap, whose tales we followed in the previous title now play pivotal roles in a world on the brink of destruction. And amidst the old guard, we are introduced to fan favourite Ghost, and in turn one of gaming's most gut-wrenching betrayals. These iconic characters guide us through a globe-trotting campaign, from navigating the favelas of Brazil to the frozen tundras of Kazakhstan, and each locale isn't just a change of scenery, it's a distinct chapter in a story told on a global scale. Yet, no discussion of Modern Warfare 2's story is complete without addressing No Russian, a mission that, more than a decade later, still sparks intense debate. No Russian was a pivotal moment for the Call of Duty series and for video gaming as a whole. It was meant to evoke emotion, to show the horrors of terrorism from an insider's perspective, and to set the stage for the game's unfolding plot.
This is a message. The Americans thought he could deceive us. When they find out why, all of Russia will cry for war.
The context is vital. The protagonist, Private First Class Joseph Allen, is undercover with a group of terrorists led by the game's antagonist Makarov. Participating or merely observing is a choice left to the player, but the devastation is the same.
A popular new video game actually allows you to be a terrorist and kill people. Take a look.
The mission sparked significant controversy. Many felt it was too much, too real, and inappropriate for a game, leading to discussions about the ethics of interactive media. Yet, despite its detractors, some fans argue that the mission was an essential narrative tool, highlighting the ruthlessness of the antagonist and immersing players in the gravity of the story. And No Russian is not an isolated event. Art and media often challenge societal norms to provoke thought and conversation. The real question is, where's the line and who gets to draw it? At its core, Modern Warfare 2 wasn't just about a compelling narrative, it was a playground for refined mechanics that kept players coming back for more. But Modern Warfare 2 didn't just stop at refining the basics, it expanded on its predecessor's foundation in surprising ways. Enter Special Ops, a co-op mode that distilled the essence of the campaign into bite-sized yet explosive challenges. Whether you were sneaking through enemy lines armed only with a sniper rifle and a ghillie suit, or surviving waves of hostiles from a fortified rooftop with the aid of a predator drone, it offered an experience both familiar and fresh. And fan reception was generally positive. Players praised the replayability and variety offered by the mode. However, it's worth mentioning that Spec-Ops wasn't without its critics. Some argued that it felt incohesive without the narrative context of the campaign, while others lamented the lack of progression and the absence of a matchmaking system, making it hard to find partners for the missions. And while Spec-Ops proved to be a fun, if not somewhat disjointed distraction, the true cornerstone of Modern Warfare 2's replayability and long-term success was always going to be its multiplayer. And well, we have a lot to unpack there. In the annals of first-person shooters, Modern Warfare 2 stands tall not just for its mechanics, but for its iconic arenas of battle. Take Favela for instance, with its vibrant sun-washed rooftops and narrow alleyways demanding vertical combat and nimbleness, or a daring sprint across high-rises' exposed beams. Rust was small, straightforward, and the perfect place to settle in-game rivalries and prove your skill. And Estate, it wasn't just about the picturesque view, but the mad dash to control the mansion's cozy interior. Each map had its positions of advantage and strategies, making them distinct experiences. And even some of the more lackluster maps aren't complete misses. Sure, Derail and Wasteland might not get the same love as Terminal or Scrapyard, but what makes these maps less appealing to some players is often what makes them unique. Derail is expansive, perhaps a little too open for those who love close quarters combat, and matches on Wasteland either devolve into a monotonous game of hide and seek or a chaotic hellscape of kill streaks. Seriously, if you got to 7 kills and the enemy weren't using stingers, a nuke was practically guaranteed. But the real kicker, in my opinion, is if Derail and Wasteland were inserted into the rotation of a newer Call of Duty title, they wouldn't just fade into the background, chances are they'd outshine the newer maps. Basically what I'm saying is I'd rather have a Wasteland 24/7 playlist than to have to play another game on Santa Senya.
What the f is this piece of sh**?
So that's maps covered. And the modes, well, besides the typical fare of team deathmatch, domination or free-for-all, Infinity Ward expanded on its solid foundation and gave us new ways to play. Demolition was a twist on Search or Destroy with its own unique flavour. With 2 bomb sites to attack or defend and the inclusion of infinite respawns, this game mode quickly became notorious for high kill stalemates and spawn trapping. And while racking up high kill counts could be fun, it also highlighted the mode's intrinsic balance issues. But what about a mode that brings a new angle, quite literally, to the gunfights? Well, that's where third-person mode comes in. Infinity Ward went out on a limb with this one, and was it universally loved? Probably not, but it was undeniably underappreciated. For some, it was a fresh break from the usual first-person gunplay, and for others, third-person cage match in particular was a hotspot for those looking to boost for camos. It was so widespread, in fact, that Infinity Ward actually removed the mode with the release of the first DLC pack. So whether you were a fan of the high-stakes, high-kill gameplay of Demolition, or the fresh perspective offered by third-person modes, one thing is for sure, Modern Warfare 2 wasn't afraid to experiment. The arsenal was vast and nothing short of impressive, a testament to the game's commitment to authenticity and variety. The UMP was the go-to for many close quarters combatants, lightweight and with a rapid rate of fire, it was ideal for those quick on their feet and eager to get into the fray. And for those that prefer their action at a distance, how about the Barrett 50 cal, a weapon that traded in finesse and maneuverability for sheer stopping power and precision. And between these two extremes, Modern Warfare 2 presented a plethora of choices. The Scar H, known for its balance, damage and accuracy, MG was ideal for those who wanted a versatile assault rifle for any situation. The ACR, whilst having the lowest damage of the assault rifles, also had next to no recoil, making it the easiest to perform well with, and for those that love to surprise the enemy, the divisive edition of the Riot Shield provided a unique blend of defense and offense. And secondary weapons were notably diversified, especially with the controversial decision to include shotguns in this category. Beyond the pinpoint precision of the 44 Magnum or the fast-firing prowess of the PP2000, shotguns offered close quarters dominance. Add to this mix a new level of customization in the form of an expanded attachment system, and players were equipped with an unmatched set of tools and agency for almost any situation. Red dot sights, silencers and ACOG scopes made their return, familiar faces amongst innovative newcomers. Heartbeat sensors catered to the cautious, extended mags provided that much needed cushion, allowing players to maintain their offensive without the disruptive pause of a reload. And then we have Akimbo, turning already viable weapons into instruments of dual-wield chaos. For those who had the chance, or maybe the misfortune, to experience the game prior to the 1.07 update, you'll probably need no reminder of the Akimbo 1887s. Even today they're cited as the most overpowered weapon and attachment combination in Call of Duty history. But the allure of Modern Warfare 2 didn't just lie in its expansive attachment options. There was another side to this coin, where attachments juiced up the potential of your weapons, perks, and the introduction of pro perks enabled entire playstyles to flourish. As players mastered a perk, they were rewarded with an enhanced version, some more potent than others. For example, Bling's minuscule upgrade of an extra attachment on your secondary paled in comparison to Sleight of Hand's pro variant of a quicker aim down sight. This alone enabled an entire community of quickscopers that pioneered montages across YouTube. This perk wasn't just a tool, it became synonymous with a playstyle. But it wasn't all good. There were days when commando lunges seemed to defy physics and debates on whether one-man army in Danger Close was breaking the game, and some just simply found themselves outclassed and underused. Hardline, for example, was a perk that seemed useful on paper, reducing the number of kills required for a kill streak by 1, however despite its seeming utility, it often found itself on the bench. In a game where every bullet and explosion counted, the immediate tangible benefits offered by perks like Stopping Power in Danger Close made it hard to consider. In the early days of Call of Duty 4, players were introduced to a groundbreaking concept, the 3-5-7 killstreak system. With 3 consecutive kills, you were rewarded with a UAV painting enemies on your radar. At 5, you could call down a precision airstrike decimating a selected area, and at 7, helicopter blades echo promising aerial dominance. These were innovative game changers, but Infinity Ward knew they were merely scratching the surface. And then came Modern Warfare 2. The stakes were elevated and the system was overhauled. Instead of a static 3-5-7, players now had a buffet of deadly options, allowing for customization and strategy unlike ever before. From the humble UAV that brought clarity and chaos, to that anxious feeling of being a few kills away from your tactical nuke and ending the match in a blinding flash of victory, the paradigm had shifted. No longer was the battle only against the opponents in front of you, but also against the looming potential of their reinforcements from the sky. The introduction of this system was a double-edged sword though. On one hand, the feedback loop was great and added a layer of replayability while allowing players to craft strategies to suit their chosen game mode and playstyle, but on the other, it often heightened the gap between novices and veterans, leading to one-sided matches and unwinnable situations. Later titles drew inspiration, adapting this system, refining its elements, and sometimes even simplifying it in response to player feedback. Some celebrated the increased depth, crediting Modern Warfare 2 for ushering in an era of diverse rewards, and others longed for a more balanced, less streak-dominated game where player skill took center stage. From killstreaks to loadouts, MW2 was teeming with choices, setting a new standard for in-game customization, and for many, the cosmetic options were the cherry on top. Remember unlocking full camo on your go-to gun? It wasn't just a new color scheme, it was a trophy, a keepsake of the hours you invested, and while some players opted for the flashier designs, others found charm in the simpler camos like Arctic or Digital. Pretty humble, especially when compared to the over-the-top designs we see in the modern game, but impactful nonetheless. Yet camos were just the tip of the iceberg. Titles and emblems became your in-game identity and allowed you to tell a story without saying a word. From the FNG title to the unobtainable spinning 10th prestige emblem that you somehow got because you knew a guy that was hosting a modded lobby, MW2 was about self-expression. Whether you were out to impress or amuse, this level of customization set the tone for later games in the series. So, just as MW2 set a new standard with its in-game choices, it also pioneered the deep customization options that are now a staple in the franchise. These aren't just features, they've become an expectation, and it all started here. Infinity Ward and their groundbreaking vision for Call of Duty started with a modest team of 25, but by the time Modern Warfare 2 rolled around, the team had swelled to well over 100 staff. At the helm were Jason West and Vince Zampella, the masterminds behind Activision's powerhouse franchise. But beneath the surface, tension simmered. Following the huge success of COD 4, West and Zampella entered into a tricky contractual relationship with the publisher. Negotiating large bonuses and creative control, Activision agreed but added a caveat. Should West and Zampella be terminated, the rights to the Call of Duty franchise would be Activision's. This caveat became the ticking time bomb that catalyzed what was internally referred to as Project Icebreaker. Now, this is a long story, so I'll try to trim the fat, but email records showed that Activision execs conspired to find dirt on West and Zampella, a move allegedly instigated by Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick. Allegations arose of attempts to access the duo's work emails, hard drives and voicemails, all in a bid to find any possible information against them. I'll leave a link to the full court disclosures, so feel free to look more into it, but basically some real sneaky corporate shit that ended in West and Zampella's termination, and around 35 members of staff walking out with them. This group would later form Respawn Entertainment, but that's a whole video in itself. What did this mean for the game? Well, Modern Warfare 2's post-release cycle faced delays in patches and much-needed balance adjustments. Players, as they often tend to do, quickly identified exploits. The Javelin glitch allowed players to turn themselves into walking time bombs, and the Infinite Care Package glitch meant that every lobby was filled with AC-130s or chopper gunners. These issues persisted far longer than they should have, and the mythical Robert Bowling patch that promised to fix every broken attachment, nerf one Monami grenade launcher spam and give you a back rub while it's at it simply never came to fruition. Incredibly though, amidst all of these challenges, Modern Warfare 2 held players' attention. New map packs were rolled out adding a change of scenery, first of which was the Stimulus Pack, a DLC that included 5 maps. 2 of these were fan favourite remakes from the original Modern Warfare in Crash and Overgrown, along with 3 new additions. Bailout was set in a multi-layered apartment complex with diverse elevations, tight corridors and long sightlines. Storm was an industrial park littered with heavy machinery and open spaces, a solid map for all game modes and in my opinion quite underrated, and Salvage, a compact snow-covered junkyard that allowed for quick engagements and a run-and-gun playstyle. And then on June 3rd, a little over halfway through Modern Warfare 2's lifecycle, the Resurgence DLC dropped. Like the previous map pack, we were given 2 COD 4 remakes, Vacant with its intricate office layout and Strike's bustling urban battleground. For the newcomers, we had Carnival as the main attraction, pun intended, a vibrant map set in an abandoned amusement park complete with a derelict funhouse, Ferris wheel and roller coaster. It's a unique setting and packed with little details everywhere you look. Trailer Park was a maze of small interiors and interconnected pathways set in a, well, you guessed it, trailer park. And lastly, there was Fuel, a vast oil refinery with long sightlines and a mix of indoor and outdoor environments. Generally the most disliked of all Modern Warfare 2's DLC, it was one of the biggest maps we've ever seen in a Call of Duty, and had the infamous rock glitch that took months to be patched, yet another casualty of IW's behind-the-scenes turmoil. Modern Warfare 2 navigated through a minefield of internal struggles and gameplay challenges. But despite the controversies, glitches and balance issues, the introduction of these DLCs played a crucial role in holding player interest and prolonging Modern Warfare 2's lifecycle. As Modern Warfare 2 grew in popularity, platforms like YouTube began to see a surge in content centered around the game. From the montages we talked about earlier to strategy guides and parody videos, Modern Warfare 2 wasn't just a pastime, it was beginning to fuel a budding industry, and one channel in particular stood tall amidst this boom. While already a known entity, the Modern Warfare 2 era catapulted Machinima to becoming one of YouTube's top channels. Their formula was simple yet effective: curate the best of Modern Warfare 2 content and provide a platform for both new and established creators. Soon, names like Hutch, Cnanas and Xjaws became familiar with anyone following the game, their channels becoming hubs for strategies, insights and debates. These creators set new standards for YouTube's potential, at a time when the platform's monetization was in its infancy and sponsorships were a rarity. These creators blazed a trail, turning content creation into viable careers. This new opportunity led to a figurative gold rush. Everyone wanted in, but with the surge came saturation. Content was abundant, and for creators, standing out was a real challenge. This influx was more than just a contest of views though, it rapidly evolved the game's meta. When a YouTuber showcased a new strategy or highlighted a weapon, the in-game landscape would transform seemingly overnight. This relationship between creators and their viewers thrived. At a time when gaming was still trying to find its broader acceptance, they offered a place for discussions and a shared passion for the game. Modern Warfare 2 also saw the beginnings of gaming podcasts and the early days of live streaming. Twitch didn't even exist yet, but the idea of watching someone play in real time was beginning to catch on. MLG tournaments were broadcasted live to a dedicated niche, allowing fans to be part of the excitement even if they weren't directly participating. It's fascinating to see the journey of competitive play from its humble beginnings here to the grand spectacle of today's CDL championships, where packed stadiums and slick productions are the norm. MW2's success set a new standard for subsequent titles both within and outside of the Call of Duty umbrella. Infinity Ward's sister studio Treyarch had already made their mark with COD 3 and World at War, and when they took the reins for the next installment, Black Ops, it was clear they had been influenced by MW2. While it offered a distinct flavour, set in an earlier era with its own systems, it also carried forward elements of Modern Warfare 2's design philosophy, such as its expanded attachment system, pro perks, and a wider array of kill streaks. Black Ops was an even bigger hit commercially than MW2, and a game deserving of a much deeper discussion than I can give it here, but its success solidified the path that Modern Warfare 2 had paved. Black Ops proved that innovation, combined with staying true to one's roots, can lead to a golden era for a gaming franchise. And while Black Ops was breaking records, Activision's new studio Sledgehammer Games was pulled away from a Call of Duty project of their own and joined forces with Infinity Ward to aid in production of Modern Warfare 2's direct sequel. It was a massive risk for the fledgling studio, but one that ultimately paid off. Modern Warfare 3 was the conclusion to a trilogy that began with COD 4. The campaign reached peak Michael Bay vibes with the set pieces turned to 11, and moments trying to recapture the shock value of No Russian. It was a little over the top and convoluted for some, and a few decisions were polarizing, but it did give us a satisfying conclusion where we finally dealt with Makarov. Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer attempted to capture and control Modern Warfare 2's chaos, increasing the time to kill, taking emphasis away from explosives and streaks, and generally balancing things a little better. It didn't reinvent the wheel, but it didn't need to. And here we are in 2023, 13 Call of Duty titles later. The upcoming release is remastering every original Modern Warfare 2 map, attempting to capture the magic and transport us back to what made us fall in love with the franchise. We get to return to these iconic battlegrounds with a higher graphical fidelity and a more modern movement system. But can it live up to those lofty standards? Whether it will be a return to form or a nostalgic cash grab remains to be seen, and while we honour what made COD great, is there a risk we stifle innovation by only looking backwards? Myself, I'm cautiously optimistic that this will not only pay tribute to the past, but also pave way for future titles, potentially giving us the best of both worlds. So, as we've journeyed through the history of Modern Warfare 2, it's clear that its impact is undeniable. From its controversial narrative to its customization options and nuanced gameplay mechanics, MW2 redefined what a first-person shooter could be. And like many masterpieces, it wasn't without its flaws. Controversies, glitches, internal studio battles. Perhaps it's these imperfections that make MW2 so special. A reminder that even amidst chaos, something legendary can emerge. Before we wrap up, I urge you all to take a moment to hit that like button if you liked the video, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more deep dives like this. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching and joining me on this trip down memory lane, and until next time, see ya.